Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the R Lounge. Leaving behind a shrine of lingerie after breaking up is the adult version of slamming the door, only with more lace and less noise. Today on rSpace, who says you can't mix a little drama with your closure? Up first, a meticulously crafted plan in action. Revenge on my cheating husband. I found out my husband cheated on me in November. I have known this man since I was 5, been best friends for forever, and now married for 5 years. He decided he wanted a divorce. 2 months ago, he basically came crawling back and asked for our marriage back. I said okay. Little does he know I'm saving $500 on his dime every month to leave him eventually. Little does he know I'm losing weight and getting my body in the best shape of its life for my future person who will never take me for granted. Little does he know I made a fake profile on Snapchat and added his father to it. His father is now cheating on his mother with the fake profile, aka me, which I will be sending all the screenshots to his mother after I leave. Normally, I wouldn't bring anyone else into this, but his mother decided I was in the wrong for her son cheating on me. Won't it be ironic? Little does he know, I talked to my rental manager and signed a contract to leave that apartment, which is in my name in December. Same week, he will be gone on a trip. Won't it be funny when he comes back to new locks, his wife missing, his stuff in the dumpster, and nowhere to live? Oh, and did I mention his dream car is in my name because I had better credit? But don't worry, I've already started the process of selling it, and it will be towed to California that same week he's on vacation. I will never ever let anybody play me for a fool again, and I certainly won't let someone cheat on me and leave me only to try to pick me as a second option later. Who said revenge isn't sweet? Update. If you haven't read my previous post, please do so. Here's a semi-update, but also a question. So a few of you were angry with me because I involved his parents in this. His parents knew about his affair and even covered for him when I would ask where he was and actively lying to my face when asked later if he was with them. Some of you wanted to know how I found out. One day when he said he had to go to his parents' house, an hour away, I got this gut feeling to follow him there. Sort of. An hour after he left, I called my best friend and asked her if she would come borrow her mom's car and drive me to his parents' house so I can see if he is really there or if he even shows up there. He would have recognized her car instantly, so she borrowed her mom's and we drove up there. Parked down the street, and the first thing I noticed was his car wasn't there, even though he texted me saying he got to his parents' house safe. Maybe he went to get something? Is what I was trying to convince myself. Me and her waited for 4 hours and he didn't show up. I called his parents, who weren't even home by the way, and asked where he was and if I could talk to him. They lied and said he was with them and he was taking a nap at their house. Obviously, after this, me and her drove home. That night, when he got back and fell asleep for the night, I looked through his phone and found messages between him and someone him and I grew up with. The texts were very, very sexual, and videos and nudes were sent on both sides. I will say she tried many times to say things like, "I love you," or "Why can't I be your wife?" And every time he shut her down very quickly. I don't know if that means something or not, but either way, I grabbed my phone and took screenshots of everything and recordings of every video they sent to each other. While taking these, she texts him and says, "Same time next week?" I literally ran to the bathroom and threw up everything I had in my stomach. I don't know why it affected me that much considering I was looking at evidence of the affair, but seeing it in real time was just different and soul-shattering to me. Any more questions, feel free to ask. But also, last night, my husband asked me if I ever thought about getting back at him. I asked, "What do you mean?" He said, "Do you ever think about screwing someone other than me to get back at me for what I've done?" I told him it crossed my mind, but cheating is what led us to where we are now, and that it would help nothing. He legit tried to encourage me to do it, saying maybe that's what I need in order to forgive him and move past this. Like giving me a freebie? So why all of a sudden is he saying this? It seems suspicious to me. Any advice or suggestions? Wow. Congrats, OP. You've clearly put a lot of thought and effort into planning how to move forward. Your detailed approach to managing your finances, improving your health, and preparing for a fresh start shows a lot of strength and resolve. His suggestion that you should be with someone else to get back at him seems like a classic attempt to shift the focus away from his own actions. It's almost as if he's trying to deflect from his own betrayal by making you feel guilty or pressured into making choices that would somehow negate or overshadow his wrongdoing. It's a way of manipulating the situation to serve his own interests, rather than confronting the real issue at hand. Don't let his attempts to deflect or manipulate cloud your judgment. You deserve to prioritize your own needs and make decisions that are right for you, not based on his attempts to shift blame or create confusion. What would you do? Would you take the freebie? Up next, the only thing this cheater's good at is keeping his a secret, and not a very good one at that. Planning to ghost him after finding out he's cheating on me. Final update. Found out my boyfriend was cheating a few weeks ago. Been spiraling since. Literally only running off of vengeance and pure disgust. I got this weird gut feeling and checked his phone while he was asleep. Those 20 minutes locked in the bathroom felt like years, and the shame keeps me from talking to anyone about it. I moved across the country to be with him, so I'm all alone. No friends or family here. He woke me up the next morning with kisses and breakfast and has been doing so a lot lately. Probably the guilt. He even bought me flowers for the first time ever, after me hinting at wanting them for years. He thought my quiet crying was out of happiness. He even brought up buying a house for us, something with enough space for potential future children. I'm still going through the motions, making his breakfast and protein shake every day, packing his lunch, making sure dinner is almost ready when he comes home from the gym. What makes me the angriest is that I really, genuinely thought he wouldn't do something like this. He watched his father cheat on his mother and father children out of their marriage, all while she struggled with infertility her entire life. My partner is her biological son, and never had her own. She dedicated her life to the two of them and passed away of ovarian cancer shortly before we met. Sometimes I think about whether she regretted staying with her husband or not. We have a small shrine in her honor, and something makes me look at and expect guidance. I love the man she raised and hate the one her husband did. But they're both him, and he's a grown-ass man more than capable of self-control, so I decided to walk away. Next week, my car will be picked up and shipped back home, and I got first-class tickets for me and my dog on his dime. He'll come back home from work and everything I brought will be gone, along with me. The only thing I think I might regret is not somehow being able to see his reaction when he walks through the door and realizes what's going on. Let's get a couple community comments. First up, I'm sorry you're going through this. It's the hardest thing to let go. As hopeless as it can feel sometimes, it does get better. Take your time in the beginning, but I think it's therapeutic to confront him eventually. Ghosting doesn't provide closure for you. In my experience, confronting the problem head on gave me a sense of closure. I try to take everything that happens as a life lesson. Good luck with everything. TOP replies, I personally don't believe in closure. I got all that I needed when I realized he was untrustworthy. The next person says, do you have access to his phone or computer? Install a keylogger. Then you can not only see what he's saying to you, but to the other affair partners as well. I put a keylogger on my ex's phone or computer when I caught him cheating. He was such a dummy, and seeing the crap he was saying, the lies he was spewing, made me grateful I dropped his butt. The OP replies, I do, but I don't think it would make a difference for me. His entire relationships with the affair partners was lies. Everything from his name, age, college degree, occupation, city, height, and dick size. He even told one he was married and his wife was pregnant with twins. I almost had a heart attack thinking I was an affair partner too, and he had a family out there somewhere. The next community member says, F multiple girls? Draw a little middle finger besides them while you're at it, and make sure there are little to no supplies, food, toiletries, cleaning stuff left, and leave the house dirty so that he can appreciate how much you did for the a-hole. The OP replies, 7 of them to be precise. I'll have to rush and get out within a certain time frame, but I might just settle for shrimp in the curtain rods. He's really sensitive to smells. It sounds like you've got your head on straight, OP. Shrimp in the curtain rods? Classic move. But if you're really aiming to leave a memorable impression, why not go big or go home? How about throwing a few rotten fish under the couch, sprinkling some garlic on his pillow, and maybe finishing off with a generous dose of spoiled milk in the fridge? It's like the sticky notes idea. It's like the Spark Notes version of everything he's done to you. You deserve all the happiness and a fresh start far away from this guy and all the BS. Update. I lied to my boyfriend every day and saved the money he gave me. March 4th, 2022. Almost every day my boyfriend sends me money for lunch, gas, something. I thought he was just really kind. Turns out he was cheating, and giving me money made him feel less guilty, as though he didn't beg me to move across the country with him where I know no one. Once I found out, I wanted to immediately confront him, but was scared of the outcome since the apartment was only in his name, and again, I know no one here. Now I just save every dime of what he sends to be able to pay for the $3,000 moving fees to go back home without hurting my own pocket too much. breaking my heart, destroying my ability to trust, and scaring me off from men I can handle. But messing with my own finances? Ha, never. The transport company is coming next Wednesday to take my car, and my plane tickets for me and my dog have been bought. Gonna keep up my happy act and do the usual cooking dinner and scrubbing his back and poof on Wednesday like I never knew him. It's the only form of revenge I could think that wouldn't haunt me. Good riddance. Edit. A few asked for details. There's 7+ other women. Everything he told them was a lie. Name, age, height, city, occupation, all of it. The only common denominator was that he bought us all the exact same lingerie set for his birthday in January, and specifically requested I hang it up in our closet where it's viewable. Forgiveness is not on the table. He'll be surprised, but I doubt he'll be hurt. Let's get a quick relevant comment. I look forward to it. How did you find out if it's not too personal? Woke up randomly in the middle of the night and he's up to no good was all I could think about. I sleep like a literal baby and never, ever wake up like that. Took his phone and locked myself in the bathroom while he was asleep and found it all. Update. Friendship breakups are so much worse than relationship breakups. March 5th, 2022. I'll be single again pretty soon and I'm looking forward to it, but also not. Like, yay, I finally can cook when, how I want to, and don't have to split chores, and can do everything on my own my way. But that's the only good part. I've been on my own since I was 16 and I've turned out mostly fine. I have paid off a house and car, cute dog, debt-free, and I'm finishing up my master's degree at 25. It could be worse. But I'm lonely. I'm not on speaking terms with my family and had a huge fallout with my lifelong friends a couple of years ago. I haven't tried making friends since because part of me hopes one day I can find a way to fix that friendship. Plus, I'm moving around so much that making friends is pointless. I'm not good at long distance anything. I never prided myself on romantic relationships. Sure, they're cool, but a loving group of women was always where I found the most peace and understanding, and that's what I want the most. I guess I'm just going through things right now and really wish I had people to trust to talk to. Friendship breakups hurt the most. Let's check in for a couple more relevant comments. The OP when asked how she had a house at a young age. Neither. I lived with my friends and their parents until college started. Already had a scholarship. Just worked 3 jobs until I was 22 and lived frugally. Someone states, the math for time and money aren't working out on this, but there is also a lot of variable info that is missing. It took me 7 years to pay off my house and I was contributing to it like it was an emergency. Qualifying for a home and paying it off in that amount of time without help seems nearly impossible. I'm so curious about the formula here. I need a lesson in finances from OP. When I broke it down, it just doesn't seem possible except from a financial windfall counting every frugal cost of living along with an accounting for taxes paid, etc. And that did not include the cost for transportation, medical, groceries, blah blah blah. The OP replies, the house was a $70,000 foreclosure and is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. I was a golf caddy, gentleman's club bartender, and occasional hostess, and notary signing agent, along with selling stationery items on Etsy. Also, my scholarships paid for quite a bit of my home in general. They never specified what kind of housing for them, just housing. I lived in 1 room and rented out the other 3. The commenter responds, that's the info I was looking for. Thanks, you. That is very smart. Good going. Good luck with your situation. So interested how he reacts to your departure. As for the lingerie set, well, if it's not a slap in the face, I don't know what it is. Imagine the look on his face when he realizes not only his girlfriend vanished, but she's left behind a very tangible reminder of his infidelities. And I get the loneliness you're feeling. Moving around so much and dealing with a broken support network is tough. But remember, you've managed to achieve so much on your own. Paying off a house, pursuing a degree, and building a life from scratch. Those are huge accomplishments, and you should be proud. My current relationship has made me realize that thin line between love and hate. March 9th, 2022. I found out my boyfriend of almost 4 years was cheating. We lived together for 2 years, and I'm leaving him tomorrow. He just doesn't know it yet, and won't until after I'm gone. As mad as I am, as betrayed as I feel, I still love him. All I really want is to wake up tomorrow and this all be a nightmare. I don't enjoy this slice of reality, that the person I loved the most has looked me in the eye and lied to me for who knows how long. And every time I do it, I'm left wondering how many times he did it. How many times did he whine, dine, and screw other women and come home to me? How many times have I been the stupid girlfriend who trusted her boyfriend blindly? How many times have I been some woman's laughingstock? Did he screw us back to back? Did his friends know? Did he look me in my effing eye and really not say anything? Did he love them? How many times did he tell me he loved me and meant it? When did he stop meaning it? Did he ever mean it for the first time? I'm not a master manipulator, unlike him. I'm just composed because I've never had any other choice. Emotions get you beat, or worse when it comes to my parents. And I'm more than aware I have a crapload of trauma to unpack, but I can't. Not in the self-pity, woe is me, it's too hard, but no, I probably just can't. Therapists here are wildly westernized, and once I start with the short list, they'll probably just charge me double, maybe triple. And the last time I tried, he kept trying to convince me I enjoyed my own assault. Maybe I got cheated on because I'm emotionally inept. My intimacy levels are quite limited. The few times he asked about my childhood, I either A, brushed him off, or B, told him one thing I thought wasn't that bad, and he was so shocked I held out on the actual bad parts. And that's where the hate comes in. He knows what it's like to grow up feeling unwanted. He knows what it's like to lose your parents young. He knows what it's like to feel like your entire life has been horrible event after horrible event. But he still did this to me, and I don't know how he could. I could never cheat on anyone, let alone someone who's shared such personal things with me. I haven't so much as made eye contact with another man since we met. Other people were just other people, and we were us. I don't know. I just don't see being able to date again. I had deep-seated trust issues long before this, and growing old by myself with 30 cats genuinely sounds nice. Hell, great even. At least I won't always be wondering when the betrayal will come. The questions you're grappling with about his past actions, your own trust, and how he could do this after knowing your deepest pains are completely valid. It's an agonizing situation, and it's natural to feel overwhelmed and confused, OP. It's especially hard when someone uses your vulnerabilities against you. As for your feelings about dating again, it's okay to need time to heal and rethink what you want. Loving deeply and enduring such betrayal can make it hard to envision opening your heart again. Healing from this kind of trauma takes time, and you deserve to move forward in a way that feels right for you. Whether that involves finding a therapist to understand your needs or simply taking some time to focus on yourself, it's okay to take things at your own pace. Update. Leaving partner of 4 years after finding out he was cheating. March 10th, 2022. Transport company came and picked up my car, sold whatever big furniture I brought for low prices, took his dog to the park and played with him a bit, got him a dog cupcake, and took him back to the apartment. Movers started coming for the rest of my stuff, and I had prepared for our property manager, thinking we were both moving out and we hadn't given them that required vacancy notice. She came to talk to me right as my Uber was coming in, and I told her what was going. Unfortunately, they had already called him because only his name is on the lease. He's called and texted me a few times, but I haven't replied. His workday won't be over for a couple of more hours. I left my apartment keys and anything he's ever brought for me that I hadn't sold already. Didn't feel like taking that stuff with me. While packing, I remembered he bought me a pet camera that shoots treats on the entertainment center and turned it back on. I promised myself I'll disconnect it by midnight tomorrow, but I have my own predictions about how he'll react and just gotta know for sure. Yeah, that's effed up. Sue me. I actually forgot to leave a note and was running out of time before my Uber came and just left the lingerie set he was so obsessed with on the bed. He'll figure it out eventually. Or not. I'm at the airport now with my dog and just waiting on my flight. I wish I could say that I feel free, but I just don't. Just tired. Thank you all for the well wishes, and thank you more to all the other women who reached out with similar stories. I think I might have caved and stayed if you all hadn't. Let's get a quick relevant comment. What did he say on the text when they informed him that things were being moved out? The OP replies, just that he got a call from the property management and asked if I ordered something big and if anything was going on. This isn't just about leaving a relationship. It's about processing a lot of emotional fallout. Reconnecting with yourself and your dog and finding a bit of peace amidst the chaos will take time. You've made a huge step in the right direction, and eventually the sense of freedom will follow. I'm glad you left, OP. You're far more stronger than you think you are. Petcam update, March 14th, 2022. Update. I turned it on for about 10 minutes after I got back to my home and unpacked. He wasn't there, but everything was a mess. There was a hole in the wall, furniture flipped over, papers everywhere. The kitchen looked like a tornado went through it. I deleted all of my other social media accounts, but didn't block his number. The first 2 days he called me over 200 times. Lots of novel-ass text messages and him admitting to some crap I didn't even know about yet. Quite a few calls from his dad and friends, too. I didn't reply to any of them. Last update found. Thanks to this user for finding this update. Last update, October 17th, 2022. Even though I have seen messages asking about an update, I didn't think anyone actually wanted one. Life just came full circle and I saw my posts on my TikTok For You literally page. Just a few things. I mentioned in a comment that I think his dad was the reason his mom passed. Not in the straight up killer way. I cheated so much and gave my wife an STD that led her to getting HPV, and since I didn't allow her to get medical treatment, she ended up infertile with cervical cancer. I misspoke and said ovarian. And died way. Of course, no one will ever know that for sure, but I doubt it helped any. My ex had always claimed he did not respect his father. He is their bio nephew, not son, as a man due to it. When I found out he was cheating, forgiving him was never an option because I have no interest in following in his mom's footsteps. I did not have any signs. Besides that, a few months in, he locked down his social media because he didn't want to get passed up on a promotion due to politics. I did ghost everyone we mutually knew for a month or two until I figured out who I could and could not trust, to not just tell him my new socials or phone number address. I never blocked his phone number, but I never replied to any texts or calls. They eventually died out 2 or so months later. He ended up finding out anyway, and I moved again, out of state this time. At the last place, he showed up at 7 a.m. and I saw him on my Ring doorbell, looking around and showing my photo to people. One of my dummy neighbors confirmed I lived there down to my dog's name, and he kept coming every day after that. I kept finding letters addressed to me that were obviously from him. They said a lot of things I didn't know, but nothing that could ever make me move past what he did. I moved before I ever saw him face to face. A few of his friends reached out after my second move, telling me about some erratic behavior of his going on, but I ignored them too. Not my man, not my problem. I've been asked on some dates, but no thanks. I'm too fragile and trusting for the effed up morals some of these men have. There's nothing about being in a relationship I miss. I know I'm probably supposed to say that I hope he gets the help he needs and finds happiness, but I don't. I'll have lifelong trauma from what he did, so at least he can have lifelong regrets. Most importantly, I found a great group of women that feel like family and always are there for me. I'm happier than I've been in years. I'm just thankful I got out before I got pregnant or married and was tied to him forever. I forgot he exists most days now, and I didn't even think that was possible. I hope this suffices. Thank you, Redditors. Edit. I did get tested again and did test positive for trick, which I did not know existed beforehand. All cleared up now, though. I never did reach out to the other women, mostly because they used our relationship to bond. They all knew he had a girlfriend, and some he lied and said we were married. 3 of the other women were in committed relationships as well, so whoever social media I could find, I did message their boyfriends or husbands. Now let's get some comments from the community. First up, I left my boyfriend last Sunday when I found he was cheating on me. I found some incriminating texts on his phone. He maintained innocence until the end. This Saturday I had a car maintenance appointment at a car dealer right across the street from his house, and I saw her car in the driveway, and I lost my crap. I left a note on her windshield with an alternate phone number and asked her to text me. She texted me this morning. Turns out she doesn't care that she's the other woman and is going to keep seeing him. I texted him to tell him that I chatted with her and that I can move on in peace knowing that he's a terrible person. F cheaters. Someone else adds, editor's note, it is not the final update. Listen, just as a protocol, can we all agree here now? If there is a random person, man or woman, searching for a person whom you know of, even if only vaguely and showing their photo around, never tell that person where they are. Possibly if they are the police, but still caution. We have all seen the posts of people leaving their abusive cop partners. Instead, ask for their contact details, saying you will contact them if you do see them, and then speak to the person they are looking for privately. Then the person being looked for can either use the contact information to contact them, pass on to the authorities, or make a decision themselves on what they want to do next. Caution is key. From the hole in the wall to the tornado in the kitchen, your ex clearly didn't handle the breakup like a mature adult. Deleting your social media accounts was a smart move, and it's clear you're handling this with a lot of strength. It's never easy to figure out who has your back, but it's good to hear that you found a supportive group of friends and are feeling happier. You've been through a lot, and taking time for yourself and avoiding new relationships until you're ready is perfectly okay. When you're ready. How did you get revenge? Share your stories with us in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on rSpace. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.